In this video, I'm going to tell you how I completely defeated my porn addiction and my addiction to just lust overall after 10 years of trying. So to get you to completely understand where I'm coming from, I need to go back to whenever I was 15. You know, I was just like every other fella. You know, I've been there where you're fapping 4 times a day. Like, I generally used to do it that much. And you want to know the sad truth, bro? There's most men who are in their 20s still fap. Most men still are addicted to this sort of stuff and like don't care, like don't sort of see how bad that really is. If you really want to just sum it all up for how bad porn and all that is and masturbation really is, it trains you to be a cuck. That's all I'm gonna say. Because it trains your brain to being aroused by watching another man plow a woman. You know? And that's what most men watch. And that's what most men get aroused to. So whenever you're having sex with a real woman, you're not aroused because you're actually more aroused by watching another man plow her than you. Like, I don't need to go into too much detail about how bad porn is. You already know, bro. If you're somebody who's watching this video, you know how bad it is. Like, you know what I mean? You don't need a whole lecture. But if you're somebody who's generally brain dead and you're watching this and you don't understand how porn is bad for you, then I like click off the video, go watch something else. Like, you know what I mean? Go watch something to mouth breathe to, you know, because this sort of content isn't for you. So how did I defeat porn and my addiction to watching and fapping to porn after 10 years of struggling and trying? Well, here's the thing. The first thing I did was I understood that Nofap is a lie. Nofap is pure bollocks. Because all Nofap is it's a community full of people who basically want to keep you addicted. And I know that may sound very strange because the whole point of Nofap is to get you to stop fapping. But if you really think of it, right, if you go onto like Reddit and you type in like Nofap, you'll have all these weird, like really strange, weird people who will like put in their Nofap streak and their journey and they'll document it on Reddit. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it's something like it's a blanket that covers the actual problem. You're sort of sitting there saying to yourself, I'm going to go a certain amount of days without fapping. But you eventually are going to relapse. And you're just going to go straight back into the cycle and it's going to repeat over and over and over again. And you're never actually ever going to completely get rid of this. I did this for years where I went on these big long no-fap streaks. And then at the end of it, yeah, you felt good, but like after a while you really realize that like that was pointless because I'm still fapping, like I still haven't beaten my addiction. So how do you actually get rid of it? Once you understand that Nofap is a scam and is a load of bollocks, you need to change your perception of what fapping really is and the addiction of it. You've had this addiction for 10 years. In my life, I've had it for 10 years, 12 years. Doing it for that long, you're just not going to get rid of it like that there, right? You're not going to go on these big long streaks and then completely like stop fapping ever again. It's just not going to happen. It's an addiction that has such a tight grip over you. Just by doing that method is not going to completely get rid of it because you're just going to end up, like I said, going back to it. So what you need to do is you need to progressively overload. And this is a term in the gym. If you're somebody who does go to the gym and you work out, which you should be, but progressively overloading is slowly increasing the intensity over and over and over again, okay, to build up strength. And it's the same thing with your addiction to fapping. If you're somebody who faps 5 times a day, right? What you want to do is you want to reduce that down to 3 times a day, 1 time a day, or every other day. Think of it in terms of like months and years. So if you're somebody who is just completely addicted to it, you can't get rid of it, and you've tried so many times and you just can't stop. One thing you need to do is you need to sit there and you need to create a goal and go, right, by the end of this month I want to have only fapped 50 times this month, and just generally aim for that number. So make that your prime goal whenever you're trying to stop fapping. Go from 50 days, and if you achieve that, that's a very easy threshold. And what you want to do after you hit that, you want to then reduce that now down to 30 times a month, 20 times a month. Once you have that sort of level of thinking and goal setting, and you set that sort of goal for yourself, you will end up being the guy who ends up doing it 50 times a month to doing it twice a year. And you can see that's a more realistic trajectory for you to actually hit. And another thing as well, bro, once you're doing this, go from watching like actual straight up porn to then just watching, or to just doing it over images. Whenever I stopped fapping and jacking off, I went from watching porn to then just doing it over photos, to then just doing it in my head, to just thinking of it or imagining it in my head. And that is another thing as well, because you need to stop training yourself to be a cock. You need to stop training yourself to be aroused by other men plowing an attractive girl, or a girl that you're attracted to. Like, that is the most pathetic thing ever, and that comes with a whole lot other amount of problems mentally. That's how you get anxiety around women. That's how you have problems talking to just people in general, and you have like poor social skills. It's because you fap 5 times a day, bro, and you're aroused to watching, a load of men 5 times a day bang a woman that you're attracted to. So stop listening to that BS, bro. Don't waste your time looking back. We're not going that way.